Welcome to Certification Terminal. In this series of video, we are going to discuss a couple of CompTIA A+ Core 1 question and answers. Let's dive in. When configuring Windows workstations, to utilize a newly implemented proxy server set up by a department in an organization, which control panel utility should the technician utilize for configuration? Option A, Internet Options. Option B, Security Center. Option C, Network Connections. Option D, System Properties. The correct answer is Option A, Internet Options. The Internet Options control panel utility in Windows includes settings for configuring proxy servers. Within Internet Options, users can navigate to the Connections tab and then click on the LAN Settings button to configure proxy server settings. From there, users can specify the proxy server address and port number. Option B, Security Center, is incorrect. The Security Center in Windows is primarily focused on monitoring security-related settings, such as firewall, antivirus, and Windows Update. It does not typically include settings related to configuring proxy servers. Option C, Network Connections, is incorrect. Network connections in Windows allows users to view and manage network connections, including Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and VPN connections. While proxy settings can sometimes be configured within network settings, the specific configuration for proxy servers is typically found in a different location, such as Internet Options. Option D, System Properties, is incorrect. System Properties in Windows provides information about the computer system and allows users to configure settings related to system performance, hardware, and system protection. Proxy server configuration is not typically found in System Properties. Next question. When print jobs from a workstation are sent directly to a printer featuring a stapler as a finishing option, what could potentially explain why the documents are not stapled upon retrieval? Option A, the stapler is empty. Option B, the stapler is not enabled. Option C, a different printer driver is needed. Option D, the staples are in backward. The correct answers are Option A, the stapler is empty, Option B, the stapler is not enabled, and Option C, a different printer driver is needed. Option A, the stapler is empty. This is a plausible reason why the documents are not stapled upon retrieval. If the stapler is empty, it won't be able to staple the documents. The user or technician should check the stapler to see if it needs to be refilled with staples. Option B, the stapler is not enabled, is correct. If the stapler is not enabled in the printer settings, or if it's not functioning correctly, it won't staple the documents. The technician should verify the printer settings to ensure that the stapler feature is enabled. Option C, a different printer driver is needed, is correct. Sometimes, the default printer driver may not support all the features of the printer, including stapling. In such cases, installing a different or updated printer driver that fully supports the stapler feature could resolve the issue. Option D, the staples are in backward, is incorrect. While it's possible for staples to be inserted backward, resulting in jamming or other issues during stapling, this is less likely to be the cause of documents not being stapled upon retrieval. It's a technical detail related to the physical operation of the stapler, rather than a common reason for stapling failures. Next question. Before purchasing a non-volatile memory express drive for upgrading a PC, what features should the user verify are available on the computer? Option A, SATA. Option B, Serial Attached SCSI. Option C, M2. Option D, Peripheral Component Interconnect Express, PCIe. The correct answers are Option C, M2, and Option D, Peripheral Component Interconnect Express. Option C, M2 is a form factor for storage devices, including non-volatile memory express SSDs. Before purchasing a non-volatile memory express drive, the user should verify that the PC has an M2 slot available for installation. This slot is where the non-volatile memory express drive will be physically installed in the PC. Option D, Peripheral Component Interconnect Express, is the interface used by non-volatile memory express SSDs for connecting to the motherboard. Before purchasing a non-volatile memory express drive, the user should verify that the PC has an available Peripheral Component Interconnect Express slot compatible with non-volatile memory express drives. This slot is necessary for the non-volatile memory express drive to function. Option A, SATA, is incorrect. SATA is a different interface used for connecting storage devices like hard disk drives and solid-state drives. Non-volatile memory express is a protocol designed specifically for SSDs to operate over peripheral component interconnect express interface, providing much faster data transfer speeds than SATA. Therefore, SATA compatibility is not necessary for non-volatile memory express drives. Option B, SAS, is incorrect. Serial Attached SCSI is another interface primarily used for connecting storage devices in enterprise environments. Non-volatile memory express drives typically use Peripheral Component Interconnect Express or M2 interfaces, not SAS. Therefore, SAS compatibility is not necessary for non-volatile memory express drives. Next question. Which category of memory storage device relies on static technology rather than moving parts for data storage? Option A, USB drive. Option B, hard drive. Option C, solid-state drive. Option D, CD-ROM. The correct answer is Option C, solid-state drive. Solid-state drives are storage devices that rely entirely on static technology, such as NAND flash memory chips, to store and retrieve data. SSDs do not have any moving parts, which results in faster data access times, reduced power consumption, and improved durability compared to traditional hard disk drives. Option A, USB drive, is incorrect. USB drives, also known as flash drives or thumb drives, utilize solid-state technology for data storage. However, this option is not the most accurate choice, because USB drives can also be configured with moving parts, such as those found in mechanical USB drives with retractable connectors. Therefore, while many USB drives are solid-state, not all of them rely solely on static technology. Option B, hard drive, is incorrect. Traditional hard disk drives use moving mechanical parts, such as spinning platters and read or write heads, for data storage and retrieval. Since hard drives use mechanical components, they are not categorized as relying on static technology. Option D, CD-ROM, is incorrect. Compact disk read-only memory is a type of optical disk that uses a laser to read data from the disk surface. While CD-ROMs do not have moving parts during the data reading process, they are not typically considered solid-state storage devices. CD-ROMs store data in a non-volatile manner, but do not utilize static technology like solid-state drives. Next question. Which cloud deployment model allows organizations the most significant scalability and flexibility, enabling them to resize resources based on demand changes? Option A, private cloud. Option B, hybrid cloud. Option C, public cloud. Option D, community cloud. The correct answer is Option C, public cloud. Public cloud deployment models offer the most significant scalability and flexibility compared to other options. Public clouds provide access to vast external resources managed by cloud service providers, allowing organizations to scale resources up or down based on demand changes rapidly. Public clouds offer elasticity, allowing organizations to provision resources dynamically and pay only for what they use. This scalability and flexibility make public clouds ideal for handling fluctuating workloads and meeting changing business needs. Option A, private cloud, is incorrect. Private cloud deployment models offer scalability and flexibility, but they are limited to the resources allocated within the organization's infrastructure. While private clouds can be scaled up or down based on demand changes, their scalability may be constrained by the organization's own data centers and resources. Therefore, while private clouds offer scalability and flexibility, they may not provide the same level of scalability as public clouds, which can tap into vast external resources. Option B, hybrid cloud, is incorrect. Hybrid cloud deployment models combine elements of both public and private clouds. While hybrid clouds offer scalability and flexibility by allowing organizations to utilize resources from both public and private clouds, they may not provide the same level of scalability as pure public clouds. Hybrid clouds may have limitations based on the private cloud component's resources and integration complexities between public and private cloud environments. Option D, community cloud, is incorrect. Community cloud deployment models are shared infrastructure environments built for specific communities or groups of organizations with shared interests or requirements. While community clouds may offer scalability and flexibility within the community's resources, they may not provide the same level of scalability as public clouds, which offer access to vast external resources. Community clouds are tailored to specific communities and may not have the same breadth of resources as public clouds. Next question. Which of the following options most accurately characterizes the service Bob offers in managing an on-premises data center that caters to all departments within his organization, enabling them to self-provision storage, servers, databases, and network configurations? Option A, Community Cloud. Option B, Infrastructure as a Service. Option C, Private Cloud. Option D, Public Cloud. The correct answers are Option B, Infrastructure as a Service. Option C, Private Cloud. Infrastructure as a Service provides virtualized computing resources over the internet, including storage, servers, networking, and other infrastructure components. In this scenario, Bob offers an IaaS-like service by managing the on-premises data center, enabling departments within the organization to self-provision and manage these resources. Private cloud is a cloud deployment model dedicated to a single organization, providing similar benefits as a public cloud, but with greater control and customization. In this scenario, Bob manages an on-premises data center serving all departments within his organization, enabling them to self-provision storage, servers, databases, and network configurations. Option A, Community Cloud, is incorrect. A community cloud is a type of cloud deployment model where infrastructure is shared among several organizations with shared interests or requirements. In a community cloud, resources are typically provisioned and managed collectively by the participating organizations rather than each organization independently provisioning resources. Option D, Public Cloud, is incorrect. A public cloud is a cloud deployment model where cloud services are provided over the internet by third-party providers. In this model, resources are shared among multiple organizations, and users typically do not have direct control over the underlying infrastructure. Next question. What is the best approach for a technician to fix the problem when a user's laptop screen shows an upside-down image after it is returned from being borrowed for a presentation? Option A, update the video card drivers. Option B, change the screen orientation. Option C, perform a hardware diagnostic test. Option D, replace the video card. The correct answer is Option B, change the screen orientation. Changing the screen orientation settings is the most straightforward and effective solution for fixing an upside-down screen problem. Most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, provide built-in options to adjust screen orientation, including rotating the display to the correct orientation. This adjustment can usually be made quickly and easily through display settings or keyboard shortcuts, making it the best approach for resolving the issue. Option A, update the video card drivers, is incorrect. It is generally a good practice to keep video card drivers up to date, as outdated drivers can cause various display issues. However, updating drivers might not directly address the specific problem of an upside-down screen image. Option C, perform a hardware diagnostic test, is incorrect. A hardware diagnostic test is typically used to identify failing hardware components. An upside-down display is unlikely caused by hardware failure and can likely be resolved through software settings. Option D, replace the video card, is incorrect. This option is likely unnecessary and overly drastic for resolving an upside-down screen issue. Replacing the video card is a costly and time-consuming solution, and it is highly unlikely to be required for such a common and relatively minor problem. Typically, an upside-down screen issue can be resolved through software settings or adjustments, rather than hardware replacement. Next question. Which cloud computing concept denotes the provision of scalable services by online providers to multiple clients, granting access to substantial CPUs and memory resources from diverse sources? Option A, measured service. Option B, rapid elasticity. Option C, resource pooling. Option D, cloud file storage service. The correct answer is Option C, Resource pooling. Resource pooling is a core concept in cloud computing that involves aggregating physical and virtual resources, such as storage, processing power, memory, and network bandwidth, from multiple clients or tenants into a shared pool. Clients access these pooled resources as needed, and the provider dynamically allocates and reallocates resources based on demand. Resource pooling enables efficient resource utilization, scalability, and flexibility in cloud environments, making it the most appropriate concept for describing the provision of scalable services with access to substantial CPUs and memory resources from diverse sources. Option A, measured service, is incorrect. Measured service is a cloud computing concept that involves monitoring and charging users based on their resource usage, such as storage, processing, bandwidth, or active user accounts. While measured service is an essential aspect of cloud computing, it primarily relates to billing and usage tracking, rather than the provision of scalable services and resource access. Option B, rapid elasticity, is incorrect. Rapid elasticity is another fundamental concept in cloud computing that refers to the ability to rapidly and dynamically scale resources up or down based on demand. While rapid elasticity is related to scalability, it specifically emphasizes the speed and flexibility of resource provisioning and to provisioning rather than the pooling of resources from diverse sources. Option D, cloud file storage service, is incorrect. Cloud file storage service specifically refers to a type of cloud service that provides users with storage space for storing files and data in the cloud. While cloud file storage services may utilize resource pooling and provide access to scalable storage resources, they do not directly address the provision of scalable services with access to CPUs and memory resources, as described in the question. Next question. What action should be taken if a printer experiences frequent connectivity issues or fails to respond to print commands? Option A, restart the printer and computer. Option B, replace the ink or toner cartridge. Option C, run a virus scan on the computer. Option D, update the printer firmware. The correct answer is Option A, restart the printer and computer. Restarting electronic devices is a general troubleshooting technique that can often resolve temporary glitches or software conflicts. It's a quick and easy step to try first before moving on to more complex solutions. It can also clear any print job stuck in the queue and reset its network connection. Rebooting the computer can refresh network settings and resolve software conflicts that might be interfering with printing. Option B, replace ink or toner, is incorrect. Low ink or toner can cause print quality issues, but it wouldn't necessarily prevent connectivity or responsiveness to print commands. Replacing ink or toner should be considered if you see print quality degradation after restarting. Option C, run a virus scan on the computer, is incorrect. Running a virus scan on the computer is an important maintenance task for ensuring system security, but it is unlikely to directly resolve printer connectivity issues. Connectivity issues are more likely related to network configuration problems, hardware failures, or interference rather than computer viruses. While it's good practice to maintain computer security, it's not the most relevant action for resolving printer connectivity problems. Option D, update firmware, is incorrect. Updating firmware can address bugs and improve functionality, but it's not the most likely solution for initial troubleshooting. Firmware updates are typically done after exhausting simpler solutions, like restarting or checking network connections. Next question. After eliminating malware and restoring website access, in response to a user's connectivity issues, what should be the technician's next course of action in troubleshooting? Option A, update the device drivers. Option B, reconnect the device to the network. Option C, document findings, actions, and outcomes. Option D, replace the user's keyboard with a wireless one. The correct answers are Option C, document findings, actions, and outcomes. Documenting findings, actions, and outcomes is an essential part of the troubleshooting process. After resolving the connectivity issues caused by malware and restoring website access, documenting the steps taken, the findings observed, and the outcomes achieved is crucial for several reasons. It creates a record of the troubleshooting process, which can be valuable for future reference, auditing, or sharing information with other team members. It ensures transparency and accountability in the support process, and provides insights into the root cause of the issue and the effectiveness of the solutions applied. Documenting the troubleshooting process helps maintain professionalism and facilitates continuous improvement in IT support practices. Option A, update the device drivers, is incorrect. While updating device drivers is a valid maintenance task, it is not directly relevant to resolving connectivity issues caused by malware or restoring website access. Device drivers control hardware components and their interactions with the operating system, but they are unlikely to be the cause of connectivity issues in this scenario. Option B, reconnect the device to the network, is incorrect. This option is unnecessary and potentially disruptive in this context. Since the technician has already restored website access after removing the malware, there's no indication that network disconnection is still an issue. Therefore, reconnecting the device to the network is redundant and unlikely to address any remaining issues. Additionally, performing unnecessary actions can disrupt the user's workflow and create confusion. Option D, replace the user's keyboard with a wireless one, is incorrect. This option is completely unrelated to the issue at hand and would not contribute to troubleshooting connectivity issues caused by malware. Replacing the user's keyboard with a wireless one would not address any network-related problems or help verify network settings. It's important to focus on relevant troubleshooting steps that directly address the identified issue and contribute to its resolution. Next question. What is the recommended course of action when experiencing screen tearing while watching videos or playing games? Option A, increase the display refresh rate. Option B, enable vertical synchronization in graphics settings. Option C, clean the display screen. Option D, replace the display cable. The correct answer is Option B, enable vertical synchronization in graphics settings. Enabling vertical synchronization, VSync, in graphics settings is a common and effective method for addressing screen tearing issues. VSync synchronizes the frame rate of the graphics being rendered with the refresh rate of the display, preventing screen tearing artifacts. By enabling VSync, the graphics card ensures that each frame is displayed in sync with the monitor's refresh rate, resulting in smoother and tear-free visuals during video playback or gaming. Option A, increase the display refresh rate, is incorrect. While increasing the display refresh rate may help improve overall visual smoothness, it may not directly address screen tearing issues. Screen tearing occurs when the display refresh rate is out of sync with the frame rate of the graphics being rendered. Simply increasing the refresh rate without synchronizing it with the graphics output may not resolve the issue and could potentially exacerbate it by introducing more tearing artifacts. Option C, clean the display screen, is incorrect. Cleaning the display screen is unrelated to the issue of screen tearing. Screen tearing is typically caused by a mismatch between the display refresh rate and the frame rate of the graphics being rendered. Cleaning the display screen may improve visual clarity, but would not resolve screen tearing issues. Option D, replace the display cable, is incorrect. While a faulty or damaged display cable can sometimes cause visual artifacts, including screen tearing, it is not the first step to take when addressing screen tearing issues. Screen tearing is primarily a result of a mismatch between the display refresh rate and the frame rate of the graphics being rendered. Replacing the display cable may be necessary if there are other symptoms of cable damage or if troubleshooting reveals cable-related issues, but it is not the recommended course of action for addressing screen tearing in this scenario. Next question. When configuring a device for enhanced security, which option satisfies the need for two-factor authentication? Option A, thumbprint and retinal scan. Option B, password and thumbprint. Option C, password and PIN. Option D, password and password. The correct answer is Option B, password and thumbprint. It combines two different authentication factors, something the user knows and something the user has. The password serves as a knowledge-based factor, and the thumbprint serves as a possession-based factor. Combining these two factors provides enhanced security compared to using a single factor alone, meeting the requirement for two-factor authentication. Option A, thumbprint and retinal scan, is incorrect. While thumbprint or retinal scans can indeed enhance security, especially in biometric authentication systems, this option alone does not constitute two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication requires the use of two different authentication factors from distinct categories. In this case, a thumbprint or retinal scan would fall under the biometric category. Option C, password and PIN, is incorrect. This option also provides two different authentication factors, something the user knows and something the user has. However, the PIN is another knowledge-based factor similar to a password, and using two knowledge-based factors does not fulfill the requirement for two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication typically requires combining factors from different categories, such as knowledge-based, possession-based, or adherence-based factors. Option D, password and password, is incorrect. This option only utilizes one authentication factor, which is a password. Using the same type of factor does not meet the requirement for two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication relies on combining factors from different categories to enhance security. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if these questions add value to your preparation. We'll meet in the next video. Take care until then.